Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories like these. Now, let's get into today's story video. Ada for laughing at my wife's request to help her parents. So I've been married to my wife Allie, 33 female, for 5 years now. Her father was a restaurant entrepreneur, while her mother was a stay-at-home parent. Both of Allie's sisters married and had children with wealthy men. At the outset of our relationship, I was launching my own construction company. I wasn't earning much money and Allie's parents despised it. Her sisters were continuously trying to match Allie up with the acquaintances of their husbands. Her father was against our wedding and pressured Allie to seek for a prenup if she wanted assistance with the wedding. Allie also requested that we keep our funds separate. Despite our rough start, we have enjoyed a lovely marriage thus far. But I don't usually accompany her when she visits her relatives. So Allie's father made some terrible investments, was duped by his partner, and his firm suffered significant losses. As a result, he and his wife are unable to retire as planned. The Allie sisters planned a surprise for their parents' 40th wedding anniversary. To commemorate their retirement, they would pay off their mortgage and send them on a trip. The whole project would cost about $30,000. Each sister would be in charge of $10,000. Allie has always paid for her family's expenses, while I pay for mine. She does, however, get along with my parents and will sometimes buy them gifts. So Allie is a teacher, and when she found out about the plan, she begged for $8,000. I practically burst out laughing. I stated her parents were horrible to me, that they thought I was a broke loser, and that you requested for a prenup, that our money were separate because she requested it, and I have no plans to change that. Allie said that she did not have the funds at the time, but that she would pay me back later, which I know is nonsense and isn't anything I'd contemplate in the first place, as I have no intention of assisting her family in any manner. Allie and her sisters convened on a Zoom call to discuss it. The sisters summoned me to the meeting and requested me to show some sensitivity. I informed them I'd made my choice and was then chastised. Her sisters went on about how I'm still harboring a grudge, how I should be eager to support my wife, and how it's all about money. I said that none of them had ever worked a day in their lives. One's a stam and one divorced their doctor husband and gets alimony. How, 6 years ago, none of them gave me a chance. How many of them is spending their money, instead relying on their spouses like they usually do? That Allie requested a prenup because their father felt I was a loser and now he wants my assistance. Allie should be more careful with her money. I informed them both that they should never ask me for a favor again. Allie told me after we got off the phone that she thinks I'm being unjust and petty, that I previously assisted my parents. This is true. I got my father a new $30,000 pickup around a year ago. That's because my silly company has taken off and I can afford to do such things, I said, and that her parents are her responsibility, and I owe nothing to them. My parents believe that, although I was not incorrect, laughing at my wife's request was an move. Ada? Edit. Yes, her parents attempted to apologize. But I have a hunch it's only because my business has taken off. They attempt to invite me to events and holidays, but I don't react. Story 2. Ada for telling my sister she would have been a terrible mother. I am a 17-year-old man with 2 sisters, Alice, 29, and Miranda, 33. I'm a lot closer to Alice than Miranda. Miranda is also at odds with our parents. Alice has 4 children and is expecting her 5th. However, Miranda is unable to have children, which is why her ex divorced her. Miranda is a highly successful person in her life. She has a lovely apartment, wonderful job, and a solid income. Alice, on the other hand, is experiencing financial difficulties. She had her first child straight after graduating from high school and became pregnant with her second child soon after, so she opted to become a som to her children while her boyfriend provided for them. My parents and I try to support them as much as we can, whether it's with daycare or money or anything she needs. My nieces and nephews are my favorite people in the world. I take them to the park and play with the bigger kids. It's a lot of fun for me. Miranda refuses to assist them, claiming that she is too busy. She works long hours, but she doesn't have children, so I'm not sure what she does on weekends. She also doesn't help out financially, which I think unjust since she earns so much money and spends it all on herself, despite the fact that she does buy us really wonderful things for Christmas and birthdays. My parents bug her about it, telling her that she should donate part of her money to Alice on a regular basis, and I agree. So here comes the part when I may have been a jerk. Last week, I was at Miranda's house because she had cooked muffins and asked me over to eat some and catch up. We began to talking about Christmas gifts, and I told her about some of the things I desired. She agreed and said she'd give our parents a holiday voucher and Alice the things she'd specified, as well as some new boots and coats for her kids. I was surprised she didn't have anything more for Alice, so I questioned, "Why do you just buy Alice the bare minimum? You have the means to aid more people, yet you reject out of spite." Miranda chuckled as she stared at me. She said that it was not her responsibility to feed 6 people, and that Alice was mature enough to make her own decisions and cope with the consequences. She was well aware of what she was getting herself into and resolved that she would not pay Alice's way through life just because she continued to have children she couldn't afford. I was taken aback by how chilly she responded. When I questioned her how she could spend her life being so selfish and indifferent, she became enraged and said, "Listen, child, there are certain things you are much too young to be talking with me, and this is one of them. Either drop the matter or go out." I became irritated with her and said something I probably shouldn't have said. "No surprise your husband divorced you. Even if you could have children, you would be a lousy mother," I informed her. Miranda became extremely silent and urged me to go and never return. She has now blocked me on everything, and although I disagree with her refusal to assist, I'm beginning to feel horrible for what I said. So, what's up, Ada? Update. So it's been a while, and I know I haven't responded to any comments because I was too embarrassed, and I still am. My parents and sister were enraged when they found out what I had said to Miranda. Alice yelled at me for so long that my ears were ringing. She seemed to be preparing to tear my head off. You were correct. My sisters had a life before I arrived, and I was too little to grasp their interactions. When I go back over my post, I'm horrified by my tone and what I imagine to be the reality. Because I was not just a complete jerk, but I was also completely incorrect on a number of things. Alice never requested money or daycare. My parents did it voluntarily, and since I grew up alongside them, they were more like siblings to me, therefore I didn't mind. Miranda was never portrayed as the main villain by my family. It was just my creation. I did have a stronger relationship with her since she was already grown and out of the home most of the time when I was a kid. I'm not sure whether I felt resentful that she wasn't there. My parents likewise didn't bother Miranda about giving money to Alice. They only asked her to contribute to larger gifts, which she usually did. I condemned Miranda because I was blinded by my love and care for Alice. I apologized to Miranda 100 times. I sent her letters, tried contacting her, and went to her apartment, but she refused to see me or respond to my letters, and she has every right to do so. I gravely damaged her, and she owes me no forgiveness. But the reason I created this update in the first place is because I have some, hopefully, positive news to share with you. Miranda has since separated from her ex. I don't have the whole picture, but they're still madly in love. When his family discovered Miranda was infertile, they harassed them to no end, and their marriage suffered as a result. It was very horrifying, which I had no idea. Miranda did want me to know the truth, according to my parents, but now that they're in another country, I hope they can be happy again. Also, please do not despise Alice. She is a beautiful lady and a fantastic mother to all of her children. Her third pregnancy was unexpected twins, and her partner got a vasectomy, but they found out pregnant with kid number 5, who was born in the meanwhile. Her partner has also received a raise at work, allowing them to live more comfortably. I know I'm in the wrong and that I need to develop a lot. Everything you mentioned in the comments was completely justified. Maybe one day I'll be able to have another connection with Miranda, but only on her terms. Please let me know if you have any more questions. I vow to respond to as many comments as possible.